You know, we talk about in medical malpractice how you shouldn't go to lawyers that dabble in it because it's so complex. There's so many things you can mess up or that have to be done appropriately. And John is a perfect example here of someone that someone like him or someone like him you need to contact in cases involving a military divorce, because there are a lot of issues that come up with like that. Confusing issues, lots of procedures, lots of timing requirements that even though lawyers say they do divorces and can help people like this, it's generally better to go to somebody who deals with it regularly. And John, could you tell us basically what are some of the key differences between a divorce in a context of a military family versus the one most of us are familiar with?
Sure, BJ, I'll be happy to. In military families are highly transitional. They move from one state to another. Their families are built and acquired in one state. They move to another state. And that affects all kind of things, from not just being able to divorce, but also where custody is going to occur. Not uncommon to see military couples get married in Georgia, and then they'll be deployed, or they'll go overseas to Germany or Turkey or Japan and live there for a number of years. And if they need to divorce, where do they divorce? Do they divorce in Turkey or Japan, or can you bring that divorce maybe in the last state in the United States where they had a marital home? Those are very complex issues, and other issues that come up is the division of their retirements. Military retirements, just like federal civil service retirements, are among the most lucrative and best, are the largest assets they have in their marriage. And sometimes they can be in excess of several $1 million. And to be able to divide them in a way that each party gets what they agreed to get or what a judge ordered to get is what's very important. And that needs to be done with a certain degree of preciseness, otherwise it just doesn't go through. Health care, the military has its own system of health care for providing for retirees, active duty, military dependents, and qualifying former spouses to ensure that they get a follow-on health care is also very critical.
And we talked a little bit in the green room that follow-up was a particular aspect of military divorces that may not exist in non-military setting.
Right. It's just like in a regular divorce. If it's decided that the husband is going to get the marital home, the house, well, the house may already be owned by him, and he may be the legal owner of that home. But in a military divorce, if you're going to divide the retirements or allow for survivor benefits or health care, there's certain explicit things that have to be done to meet federal law, or it just doesn't go through. People think they're going to get it, but unfortunately they don't.
I've heard a couple different scenarios, John, about how long you have to be married before you can even divide up properties. I've been told 10 years and a day. Is that?
That's not true.
That's not true.
No, Georgia, in fact, has addressed that issue about 2 years ago. Our Supreme Court said that the requirement that you be married to a military member for at least 10 years while he's in the military is only to enable you to get your payments directly from the Defense Finance and Accounting Service. Otherwise, if you've been married to a service member for a couple of years or 3 years, it may not be a big part of the retirement, but it may work out to be an adequate award of alimony for a number of years, or an offset in the equity that's in the home, or a division of something called a thrift savings plan account, which is like a 401k. I'm just saying, if you've been married for any period of time when you're in military service, a good lawyer is going to ask for a division of that portion of the asset.
Okay.
Opinions expressed on Law Call are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of 13 WMAZ staff or management, nor any legal or judicial entity. The legal information supplied in this broadcast is general information only and is not intended to be legal advice for any given situation. Do not rely on broadcast information without consulting an attorney. Contingent attorney's fees refers only to those fees charged by the attorneys for legal services. Such fees are not permitted in all types of cases. Court costs and other additional expenses of legal action usually must be paid by